Hello and welcome to another edition of the Thursday Night Grind. My name is Matt, and every Thursday night I jump onto YouTube and I sharpen something that's on the bench at the American Edge, which is my knife and tool sharpening business in New Hampshire. And I'm excited for a lot of reasons, but I'm going to spare you and just share two of them with you today. The first reason that I'm really excited is because our baby chicks arrived. We're doing a run of meat birds as a family. And what's exciting for me is that a lot of the reason that I started a sharpening business was to generate money to invest into my homestead, to increase our resilience, to add systems, to grow food, and all those sorts of things. There's a lot to that, but I'm just really excited that the work that I'm doing is now tangible, and I have 30 baby chicks out there in a chicken tractor that my neighbors built for me. If you remember some relationship conversation I had a while back, and they're letting me use their brooder, and like all of that, it's working, man. It's working, like, which is really exciting for me. And the second reason is, like, if you're in the same thing, like you have this passion, this dream, this thing, this direction that you want your life to go, and you just need a little bit of money to make that happen, right? Like, this is the sharpening thing isn't the mega yachts, right? But it's a chicken tractor, it's chickens, it's a rainwater harvesting system, it's gutters, it's seeds for the garden. Man, like, if that's idea, whatever it is for you, is interesting to you, you want to check out the Guild of Professional Sharpeners at guildofsharpeners.org. And there's so much going on over there, it would take too long if I shared it all with you. But a dream that I have is that the membership to the Guild of Professional Sharpeners will pay for itself in two ways. One way is in the revenue that your business generates, right? Like, we will rapidly expedite the learning curve both in sharpening and then marketing, starting, growing, and establishing a business. But two, in discounts on the tools and supplies that you need to start and run this business. And WorkSharp, if you remember looking back, I had a conversation with Josh and Kyle from WorkSharp. The conversation continued after that interview, and WorkSharp has shown up, and they are offering a dynamite discount inside the guild where you can really almost, not quite, you can almost recoup the cost of the guild membership. Well, actually you could, but I'm saying, like, in gear just to get started from WorkSharp, you can almost recoup the cost of your guild membership by the discounts offered by WorkSharp. I'm so grateful for those dudes. They're laying the groundwork. I'm going to continue to build out the buyers club, the discount codes that we have inside the guild. The more people that come in the guild, the more buying power we have, the more ammo I have to go to distributors and be like, yo, we would like to team up with you. Like, we like your product, and we would like a code inside the guild so that we can use your product and save a few bucks doing it. That's my dream. And it's happening. That's coming together too. So there you go, man. If this idea, and check this out too. What if, like, you don't want to monetize it? What if you just want to get smart on sharpening? And I think you could really justify a membership to the guild if you realize what an awesome skill it has. It's faded, sadly, in society. Everybody uses cutting tools. It's a skill we should all have, and we're teaching it. So check it out, guildofsharpeners.org. If you have any questions on any of that, reach out to me. And one thing, so now I'm going to, now with transition, right? I get a little flack for this, like this front matter that I do, but it's my channel. I can do whatever I want, right? So now I'm transitioning into the sharpening portion. I have a bunch of chisels on the bench, and I haven't really delved into the woodworking tools on the Thursday Night Grind. And of the 5 that I have, I think I'm going to do the worst one with you so that I can share several things with you. So let's get a close. The image isn't good when I do it up here because the autofocus tries to keep it on my face. So let's go to the bench, and I just want to talk about this chisel super quick. So what we're looking at here of the collection, this is the 1.5 inch wide chisel, and you can see that it has some damage, a little nicked up there. So there's a couple things I wanted to. First off, we're going to be doing this on a Tormek. These other ones will be faster. This one's going to take the longest amount of time, and it's for 2 reasons. One's because it's the widest one, but also because we have to grind past that chip. So I guess I've been getting some feedback that suggests that a Tormek can grind at a comparable speed as the 1x30, and I would just beg to differ. And if this, and I would consider grinding this out on a belt and then taking it to the Tormek to finish it. I think I'm just going to go to the Tormek tonight though. Let's just talk through the process of, that's, somewhat the inspection. Like, it's a little dirty. Actually, you know what? Let's hit that on the wire wheel to clean it up. You'll notice it looks like there's a rust spot here. Also, none of these have been lapped. So there's a process even with new chisels where you want to, it is suggested that maybe you're going to want to, one, remove the lacquer that they put on the chisels from the factory using a lacquer thinner. Just wipe them off, maybe just down here, right? You don't need to clean it all off. They put it on to keep the rust at bay, but cleaning that off might be beneficial. And then lapping the back of them. So these are just coming right off of the machine, just a machine finish, but lapping the back of it makes a smoother finish. So then when your bevel right here, you cut your bevel, the edge, the apex of the edge here, if you have a nice clean lapped back, you're gonna have a smoother edge and a better cutting experience. So that's something that can be a little bit of work. And I'm gonna show you how I'm going to do that. There are several ways to do it. I'm doing it by hand. I'll show you how to do it, and when I'm doing it, I'll mention some other ways to do it. But anyway, so the way you can see this going down, I'm going to put this on the on the wire wheel, remove as much of this surface rust as I can, clean up the bevel. I'm going to go to a diamond plate to back lap the back, and we'll keep an eye on that. We don't have to do a lot. All we need to do is get where the edge, the back of the edge, lapped. So we'll keep an eye on that. When we do that, we'll go over to the Tormek and we'll take a look at the flat blade jig for the Tormek, which is pretty sweet. And there's one nuance there that I really want to hit with you if you end up using that. And then after the whetstone, we'll finishing up on the leather wheel on the Tormek, and that will be good to go. And I will do the rest of them later. Let's get rocking. Okay, so what we have going on here is I found that the plate slips around less if I put this down. This is a diamond plate. You can spend a lot of money on these. I bought this from Chef Knives to Go. It seemed to be the most affordable one that I could find, and so far I don't have many complaints. So I'm always concerned about seeking the most affordable thing, and because you sacrifice quality. In this case, it seems to be okay. Here's the deal. This is it. Diamond plate, lap the back. Right? Like, you only need to get the back up here. Actually, let's just take a look real quick at how the contact parts are way back here. So I'm going to move up on that, this corner. All right, so I'm going to kind of focus right here. This can be kind of a pain in the neck, so you know. Checking in with you can see the difference that makes. And I just wanted to point out that doesn't have to be the only way to do it. I have done these on the sidewall of the Tormek, and I wanted to let you know you can do that. It's hard to true the sidewall of the Tormek as far as I'm concerned. Like, maybe there's a way to do it. I haven't looked into it very much, but that's why I like the flat plate here. But that is a bit of work. That took several minutes. And there's a little bit left here at the very edge. I got to get past this chip anyway, so I'm not worried about that. Everything south of the chip is shiny, so I feel pretty good about that. This stuff down here, it doesn't matter. Note for Japanese style shears, these are chisels. These are hollow ground back here, so it should be a little bit less of the elbow grease that I had to do for that. And now let's go get set up on the Tormek. Welcome to the Tormek right now. This stone drinks a lot, so I have it spinning now and the trough is full. So we're gonna let that go and saturate, and we're gonna get set up with the Square Edge Jig. So this thing is gonna go on here like that. This slides in here like that. I like to get that up as far as I can to get as much blade out there as I can. And then I'm just setting it up against this here, riding that edge all the way out to this side, sliding this piece in against there as much as I can. I mean, it's kind of a multi-hand thing, but now, so like this moves this way. This is now, this edge of the chisel is riding on that little notch right there, so it's square, and then this thing will slide on and off of here. Okay, so now I need to set my height, and I do that. I'm pretty high at the moment. I'm gonna eyeball it to get me in. Okay, yep, zap up against my stop here. Right about there. Let's check what this is coming in at. Check what the .25. I was expecting a little bit more. I actually might do a little bit more because it'll save me time cutting that chip out. So let me see what 30 looks like. So I'm gonna set my, doing this without you, sorry. I'm gonna set my angle guide here at 30. My wheel is still pretty fresh, so I'm not moving this dial at all. And then this sets on the wheel. This goes up against the flat face on the chisel. And I'm going to come up until I'm touching. Which is right there. Now, because we're going to be pulling quite a bit of material off here, I might recheck that because that angle will change as I remove material. But now it's just, oh, actually there is one more thing. All right, and actually this is the nuance that I really wanted to show you and why I have the book out right there, because there's this adjustment. So I'll take a pass and I'm going to look at it. I want my grind to be exactly either parallel to the edge or perpendicular to this edge, right? So I'm going to take a pass or two and take a look. And then there's a really fine-tune adjust with these. We're matching this line here. So this line looks like it's lined up, right? But really small adjustments cause angle differences here. And there's a spot in the book right here where it points you out, like if you're, I think this says, for increased sharpening pressure on the tool on the right hand side, loosen knob A and tighten knob B. So anyway, that's I boned up a few chisels learning that. So now you can know before you bone them up. All right, let's see what this looks like. can also tell that my stone is graded to fine. All right, can you see? Okay, so that is not terrible. I'm gonna do a little bit more. If anything, I need to grind a little bit harder over here. But let's grade the stone and do a little bit more before we go to bananas. Stone grading tool, coarse and fine. It adjusts the coarseness of your grinding wheel. You can use it a lot. You can lean into it. You can use the corner, right? Like ride the corner, and then listen to your grind. You can tell when it's grinding coarse or fine. Let's have another look, see poo. Okay, so now can you see that I am, try to get you that without the glare. I need to go just a little bit more here. So let's look again here, let me get this right. For increased sharpening pressure on the tool's right side, loosen knob A, tighten knob B. Okay, like that's it, right? What was that, an 1/8 of a turn? Let's see how that comes out. All right, as I'm looking at it, I'll get you the shot here too. I like that. That's by eye, that's probably as close as I'm gonna get it. Putting up a burr over here, not there. We're making progress on that chip, but we have quite a bit of work ahead of us. You can see I'm not grinding the whole bevel, and I'm cool with that. That difference was actually a few degrees, but I don't think that it will, for the application of this tool, I don't think the user is going to see a major degradation in performance. And right now I'm considering coming down just a little bit because my angle's going up as I'm grinding, right? Let's take a look. Put my jig back on. Just a little bit. So I'm gonna loosen can you see that? Yeah, loosen these. I have my height adjust set here. Gonna back myself down, and I'm back at 30 degrees right there. Hopefully that makes sense to you. If it doesn't, I'm not sure exactly how to explain it, but I'm removing material from the edge, so as I do that, the chisel is that material goes away, it's gonna start coming up, right? So to correct for that, I lower the guide arm and I come back to 30 degrees. Let's just take a look at what that looks like having changed that angle a little bit. No big deal. I can't catch it. I am grinding quite a big bevel there, and that is the line looks nice to me. Does that look nice to you? So let's keep going. You can see the chip is almost gone. Pretty good burr coming up. I'm pretty much almost to the spot where I'm into all the lapping that I did. So we just got to get the rest of that chip out, and then we'll be ready to take the burr off.
What I like about the wet grinding system is you can lean right into it, right? Like it does take time, but you can also apply more pressure. I was saying that, you know, I would consider for this getting past that chip on a belt sander and then coming in and cleaning it up with the Tormek. I would probably start on one of my own chisels first. I don't think I've done one that way. The other thing, just to remind you, like this is the widest one, so this is going to take the most time. Those other ones are going to cut pretty quick, and they also aren't chipped up. So this is definitely the most time-consuming of these. But I also want you to see, like, this isn't miraculous, right? Like I would have removed all that material with a 120 grit ceramic belt by now, or 60 would have gotten me there in a hurry. I'm still hogging on, you know, it's taking me time over here. So think about that with your kitchen cutlery, right? Like if you got to cut new bevels, you can do it on this tool. You're not going to do it as fast as you can do it on a 1x30. And that's the point I wanted to make. I was just watching that lap line. There's a little bit left to go, but the chip is gone. The line still looks pretty good. I'm cutting a lot of steel off this bevel now, right? Moderate, you know, lightly hollow ground. Let's just check for it. The burr is not, I mean, yeah. Yeah, one good post, a question I put up in the guild this week was, how do you detect what's your favorite way to feel a burr? And what I haven't shared my own yet. I think most of the guys know. I like using my thumbnail. I might be the only one that uses the nail to do it, but what I like about that question is that it illustrates that there's so many ways to sharpen, and you build the technique that's right for you, the thing that feels good. I think it might have been Doug who was saying that, like, he, or maybe it was John, has the most sensation on the pad of his non-dominant hand. So like he chooses to feel for a burr this way, and that's where he gets the most feel. Whereas I might be using my thumbnail, and I can feel a burr the whole way. I can hear it click off. I could actually also feel it with the pad. So anyway, there is a burr there, and we're ready to go onto the leather strap. Oops, let's go this way. I actually forgot something. I wanted to take this to the 1000 grit. So I'm going to grade the stone here. Grade the stone to fine, and then finish it up on that. I don't know if you can hear that difference, but I sure can. All right, and then like the question I really didn't know when I started was, how much of that stone grading can you do? Like, am I wearing out that stone a lot? And here I got 5 chisels. I'm not going to reset my chisel and my jig every time I grade the stone. So I'm going to grade the stone to 200. I'm going to do a chisel. I'm going to grade it to 1000. Then I'm going to remove the wire edge. I'm going to grade this stone back to 200. Do the next chisel. Grade it to right. I'm going to be grading the stone for each tool, because once I get it in my jig, I don't want to monkey around with it if I don't have to. I may have to do, like, we'll take it out to get the burr off. One thing I like to do, and I'll show you, is I'm actually going to set the jig up on the leather wheel to just even polish that edge a little bit more. Okay, but now that is ground to 1000. So that, I mean, that I could just take that burr off right there, and that thing would be dynamite. But we will go one step further. All right, so this is where we need to enter the, let's see if I can get you over here a little bit. enter the Sharpie trick, right? Because these wheels are not the same diameter, so we cannot just go to our set point here and grab that edge. So I'm going to just paint the edge a little bit. Again, like I don't need to get the whole bevel. I just need to make sure I get the edge. And we're just to check this, right? Like we are going away. We're always cutting away on the leather wheel. You never put a blade into the leather wheel. As we get set up, let's eyeball it. It's easier to get it in and then back it out. All right, so that is going to grab it. Let's just do this a little bit. Check, and we're pulling that Sharpie off. This is going to be a light pressure thing, but let's just give it a few passes on that leather wheel. And I can see that, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the whole bevel, I'm definitely not getting the whole bevel, but I definitely am getting the edge. I'm going to see if I can get this. It's nice if you can. I can't. All right, so I'm noticing my mark here. I'm all the way in. I'm going to pull this out, remove the burr. I like to kind of start here and then work my way to the edge just so I don't round it over at all. Keep an eye on it. I probably should have put some compound on here before starting, but there is no detectable burr there. This is probably overkill, right? Like I could have just removed the burr and we'd be all set. You know what, let's do a little compound on this because I haven't done that in a bit. I have been using this wheel quite a bit as a finishing strop on my kitchen knives. That's low pressure, by the way. That looks pretty sweet. All right, yeah. Oh, sorry. So there's some compound on there now, but we will now just get that off. Just do a quick inspection here. Definitely grabbing the thumbnail everywhere. I mean, that's a sharp chisel, dude. Okay, let me do a few closing thoughts and I'll do the rest of them. That is sharpening a chisel on a Tormek. Couple things to point out. There's a few guys in the guild who are tooling up with a Tormek, so I'm hoping that is going to be helpful. And there may be some more Tormeks coming in. I did a video this week on a walkthrough of my shop and all the tools I have and how some might be more suitable for others. Bryce is in a small spot. I know Vance just ordered one. I like how Vance is tooling up. And Nate, you are already running one, so you might already be doing I'm not sure you're doing these yet, but I hope that's helpful. Some other like business concepts on my mind is that I charge $10 a chisel, and if you timed me on that would have been a loss for me. That was not a good deal. But when I do chisels like this, sometimes I'll cut a deal. This is just a little 1/8 inch, but that's not going to take long comparatively, right? So, and I had to get past the chip. I think I charge a few extra bucks to grind the chip out on that. Regardless, chisels aren't a big money maker for me, and I don't push them hard either because of that. But I can do them, and they come out pretty dynamite. And that's the next point I wanted to allude into was the Tormek is. I haven't discovered a better tool for the woodworking community. And at the same time, don't get misled. The planer knives, like if you get a planer knife in good shape, you can get the edge back. But who sharpens their planer knives when they're still in good shape, man? Nobody. Like, they beat them up. You get them with chips and stuff, and that'll take you hours on a Tormek if you even get there. You'll probably give up. So I just caution you about that, and I hope that I have addressed the grinding speed on that. So yeah, it'll do it, but it's not really comparable to a belt sanding system. Oh, and then I also wanted to tell you, Tormek has kind of built their reputation off of this. Like, it's a water-cooled system. You're not going to ruin the temper, and I agree with that. Like, the tool stays cool the whole time. No question. No question. The question is, like, how big of a deal is it? And what I'm concerned about is a lot of people read that and then interpret it to mean that belt sharpening systems are automatically going to ruin the temper in your knife. And you can blue a knife, and you can ruin a knife, the temper on a knife on a belt. You can also do it on a belt and not ruin the temper of the knife. And if you've seen the way that I do it, I'm always holding the blade. If it feels warm, I've got a little jar of water here. I dunk it and then I wipe it down. I also, let me show you this. If I'm doing dry grinding, I keep a little spritz bottle and I'll just spritz the tool. And those are things that I do to help me keep the tool cool while I'm doing the work, while I'm saving a bunch of time using a belt system rather than a wet system. Those are some ways I work around it. This is a highly charged and opinionated place. This is where I'm landing on it at the moment, but I welcome you to provide your thoughts and feedback on all of this, right? Like, which I'll close with this. What I love about sharpening is that there are so many ways to do it. So I welcome you to share your way, and also know going forward that I hope that I'm not projecting myself as this is the way to sharpen this thing. What I'm saying is this is my way that I'm sharpening this thing in this moment. And I've changed a lot since I've grown my skill, and I expect to continue to learn and grow and change. I had a conversation with a guy today, which I really appreciated, and he made the comment that anybody can sharpen. And if you want to be a good sharpener, you have to work hard at it. And if you want to be a great sharpener, you have to work really hard at it. Like, you spend your life at it. And I really like that. So there you go. Sharpening a chisel on a Tormek. I will see you next Thursday. Do all the things you're supposed to do because it helps me out. Like the thumbs up, the subscribe, leave a comment, say hello, say cheers, peace, dude, love it, thanks, do another one, right? Whatever it is. Can you sharpen a, like, send me some of that stuff. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. If you want to make a business out of sharpening, I'm still convinced there's no better place to be than the Guild of Professional Sharpeners, which you can learn more about at guildofsharpeners.org. Check the description for more details. Peace.